So, you guys know that I get a lot of like hobby supplies, stuff like for crafting when I'm making like dioramas and stuff. I buy my supplies from just the dollar store. The Canadian Dollarama is pretty great for hobby stuff. They carry a lot of interesting materials that you can use for your hobby, for your gunpla, for your plamo, right? I mean, really, it's just for crafting random stuff. But I've found that it's a great store for finding tools that you can use, and I bought some interesting things that we will be using in the near future, including this. It's spooky season is upon us, so I think in a matter of a few days, possibly even the next time I stream, we'll be painting this plaster figurine Halloween craft. And it even comes with a brush and some paint, which I probably won't use. But I think I want to paint these like actually like as good as I can and make them look really creepy and weird. But also at the dollar store, they occasionally just have really cool stuff that for whatever reason, maybe the publisher, maybe they just made too much of it, and so over the years it just ends up at the dollar store for like a crazy discounted price, despite the fact that it's actually pretty damn awesome and pretty cool. And the last time I was there, I found one such example. It was this. The Art of Hearthstone. So I actually played a fair amount of Hearthstone. Sort of like in that initial year and a half, 2 years that it came out, I played a pretty good amount of that game. I'm not going to say I was ever actually good at it, because being good at Hearthstone actually means that you're really good at spending money. But I played a lot. I played a decent amount, and it was fun. Ew, card games. Oh, vanilla. I actually really love card games. I'm not like crazy about them, but I do find them to be pretty fun. Not slide. I have a decent idea for a build, but I need to see if I can snag the models for it. Cool. A Halloween build? That sounds really fun. Yeah, you made one before, right? Here, let's set this stuff aside, and let's browse through Vanilla's favorite genre, the Art of Hearthstone. I did take a look at this. Again, this was at the dollar store. It was $5. It wasn't actually $1, but this is like a real legit ass art book. It's thick AF, thick 2 C's AF, and yeah. A friend made me play this game, and I kind of hate it. Oh no. I know it's not bad though. Yeah. I think if you play it, there's a certain amount, like, it's weird with games like this. If you play it just enough, it's fun. And then if you play too much, it's bad. Led to the downfall of card games. Yeah. There's I really like Slay the Spire. That's the last card game that I played that I really enjoyed. But it's kind of different, right? It's not like a competitive card game. But let's take a look. So the artwork in Hearthstone, it's a very slick style. It's a very kind of commercialized style. The visual aesthetic of many Blizzard games are kind of come from this sort of school. It's nice. I like it's a nice style. It's not actually anything I'm super into, but it's nice to look at. Not Slide, there's a new game that's like Slay with multiplayer. What? What's that one? Wait, can I turn the page safely? I think I can. The Art of Hearthstone. Let's see. Can I move the light so we're not kind of getting glare? It's an old style, but nice and well made, pretty clean. Yeah. It's slick, right? We're not me and Vanilla. We're not super into super slick art styles. but we can appreciate it. Let's actually get the camera up a little higher. Can I do that? Whoop. Let's get the camera up a little higher, and let's compensate for glare so that we don't get too much of it. Werewolf with the Sword, 10 out of 10. Would take home to parents. Dragon with cards and glasses. That's a 10 out of 10 for me. But let's, we're not going to go through every single page. But let's just take a look. Hey, look at all these problematic individuals. How many of these guys got canceled, do you think? How many of these people ended up getting canceled? Because they were probably toxic and all that stuff. Probably a lot of them. But one thing that I find really interesting about this art book is that they actually spend a decent amount of time getting into the layout, getting into like the concept of Hearthstone with regards to like the presentation and how to put it, like the user interface. Yeah, so if you look here, they spend a decent amount of time showing you how they wanted to convey like how it was gonna look when you played cards, and like the format of various user interface things. There's the cards, like how would they sort of be mounted on a display rack or something like that. I love that. I think that's really, really interesting, because that's sort of like the intersection between art and design and utility and information and sort of clarity, as well as making it thematically tie in with the game and all of that stuff. So I think that's really interesting. Like this is the stuff that really interests me, as boring as it might seem. This is like, I really like this stuff. Figuring out the layout, and this is a matter of legibility as well. Like, you know, I used to play a fair amount of Magic the Gathering, and yeah, like when you're playing a real card game, you can look up close and read the cards and read the descriptions, but that's very different in the world of a digital card game, where things need to be a lot more readable from a distance. This is good shit. Yeah, it's actually pretty cool. They spend a fair amount of time looking at all of this stuff, like how that layout is going to work and all of that. Really, really interesting. Yeah, I thought you might find that interesting as well, Vanilla. Let's see. Keeping it real. And I'm going to have a good time reading all of this stuff. I'm not going to read it now. Too lazy to read it now. But, you know, so many card games would then go on to copy this sort of design concept where the cards are laid out here, and they don't look like cards, they look more like icons, and then they would kind of like physically like attack the enemy card or attack the player. They would like bump against them or shoot magic missiles. So many other card games since then have emulated that, and it's just it was one of those brilliant ideas from them. Yeah, again, more cool layout stuff, right? This is really, really great stuff. I like this. Really, really cool. All that. And this is interesting too. This is the table where they play itself, and they were thinking about making it look like a physical terrain, kind of almost like Warhammer or something like that. Like there was a sense of depth and terrain to it. They abandoned that idea, but it is an interesting thought. And yeah, they even get into like this idea of the wooden board, right? The board that you're playing on, like all of these little details to help you make it feel like this is a real thing, right? That this is like a very considered world. And then yeah, there was this idea of like a compartment in the wood, sort of like moving down or moving up, and then like a cannon would come out and shoot out. That they abandoned that, but yeah, they had a bunch of ideas revolving around that. Very, very cool. design stuffs. Yeah, and this is the actual, like, when you play Hearthstone, this is like the first thing that you see, which is also the cover of this book, which is kind of neat. Yeah, all of this stuff. Very cool. This is like the layout for when you're like building your deck and designing your deck. Like, it's really nicely done, and it was very fun to simply filter through all of this when I was making my decks. They made it very easy to do. And yeah, they gave a lot of time thinking about that. This is kind of neat. What is this? Sketch concepts toying with visuals surrounding pack openings. Okay, so yeah, that's another thing that I felt like Hearthstone was really sort of like on the cutting edge, was like this idea of opening up the packs and how exciting that should be. And ever since then, like, so many other games have done the very same thing with like loot boxes and that. Yeah, see right there, that feeling of like opening up a pack and bursting and all the light, and then the cards are all laid out and then you get to choose, and yeah, all of that stuff. I love that. That was really fun. I mean, by this time Hearthstone is really old now. Well, I don't know about really old, but it's I don't know if I'll ever come back to Hearthstone. It's too, like, the people that play it to this day, they're just too good. Now we're kind of getting more into like the actual illustrations. This is very sort of typical Blizzard fantasy type illustrations, which, you know, it's good. It's good stuff. I like it. It's not necessarily my favorite kind of thing in the world. That's pretty cool. And one nice thing is you're getting a chance here to look at this artwork at a larger scale, because obviously when you're playing on the as a card game, when you're playing the actual game, the art is just like super tiny, so you don't have that opportunity to really look at it. So that's pretty cool, pretty fun. Although I have to say I do like the art style in games like Magic the Gathering more, to be honest, or even Yu-Gi-Oh for that matter. I like the artwork in Yu-Gi-Oh. Bacon, this reminds me, I think Sakurai's Lazy Vid talks about user interface. Nice. I'm gonna have to give that a look. Yeah, those videos from Sakurai. How many does he have out right now? I like the first one. Really great stuff. This is a really neat feature in the book where they have this kind of like vellum black and white illustration, and it's printed on like a semi-clear piece of vellum, right? And this is the line art, and then you can see the colored version right here. And a part of me always likes the line art and the rough sketch more, but that's just me being me. I kind of like that stuff more than like the painterly kind of thing, you know. Okay, let's just kind of quickly go through, and there's this history, there's this whole thing about Warhammer, the connection between Warhammer and Warcraft, and then 40k, Warhammer 40k and StarCraft. We don't have to get into that. It's well documented, right? But, you know, when you see stuff like that, characters like this, they feel very much like something out of Warhammer. Even the orcs as well. They sort of informed one another, but, you know, I'm not even like saying that's a bad thing, right? A good thing or a bad thing. It's just how it is. And, you know, Warhammer itself obviously borrows a lot from Tolkien, blah blah blah, and Tolkien borrowed a lot from mythology, so on and on it goes. It's not a big deal. Who drew this? Wei Wang. This is sweet. I think I may have even used this card. Shout out to Wei Wang. Sick. Bacon, I think he's at 10 to 11 videos. Holy crap. That's a lot more than I thought. This one here, I definitely used this card. I think it's kind of like a token. Like you can sort of like get a bunch of these or something. I don't know. I use this a lot. It was like part of my cheap, cheesy tactic to win. And this is art from the Penny Arcade guy. You can kind of tell. Very easy to tell. Okay. This seems very much like something out of Magic the Gathering. Something about this feels more MTG-like than it does World of Warcraft. Oh yeah, look at that fist. Can you imagine? Like, this is from the dollar store, guys. That's sweet. Okay, so yeah, this is like, I think, one of the first expansions, the Curse of Max Ramas. Let's kind of speed things along. Let's kind of just randomly go through some stuff. So you guys get the idea, of course, right? Let's kind of go through some more. This is cool. Goblins and gnomes. I love goblins. And gnomes are cool too. Yeah, the coloring in like the whole Blizzard style of coloring is really nice. Very eye-catching. Here's another example of the cards, and this would be the theme of this pack of cards, right? Like you could get like a booster pack. This would have been the booster pack, and the whole look of how it would then like open up and explode with energy and disassemble, and then the cards would be inside. That's very cool. And yeah, I don't even remember too much about these are kind of funny. About the lore of World of Warcraft or Warcraft all that much. I've never played World of Warcraft. I saw the movie. Here's a chicken. That's pretty cool. I saw the movie and it was not good, guys. It looked so expensive. But it was like, for what? Apparently it was a big hit in China, though. There's another... I think I used this card, too. It's another vellum situation. Pretty cool. Let's keep going. Yeah, this is quite... This is a lot. This is a lot to go through. And it... I mean, if you're a big fan of World of Warcraft or Hearthstone, you're loving this. Like for me, I like the game. I played a fair amount of it, but I can't say I loved it. But it's great to look at the art, right? Really cool. This one's neat. This is like an ogre riding a weird thing. And this might even be great for ideas in terms of like painting miniatures and painting making conversions. Like this is a really great resource for that, for getting some ideas. That's cool, this explorer frog. Spider. Who drew this? Jesper Edgesing. Cool. Shout out to Jesper Edgesing. I think we're close to the end. Whoa, this one's nice. I like this one. This one's really cool. Has a lot of texture. Maybe that's the thing I find with a lot of Blizzard painting and artwork. Yes, it's very slick. Yes, it's very polished. But often it's very clean, and I don't get the sense of texture. You know what I'm saying? Like even this, as cool as it is, and the composition is really cool, and the colors, like it does seem like it's concept art for an animated movie or something, where they're thinking about the shapes and like bold, flat shapes and colors, but not as much of a focus on texture. But then you look at something like this, and this has a lot of texture here inside the with the wrappings and stuff. I really like that. That's what I like. Acknowledgements, Blizzard, super problematic Blizzard, which are now owned by Microsoft. Yeah, oh wow, and they spend a fair amount of time here with the designs for the card backs. That's all really cool. This one, look at this. It's like candy. This must have been a fun kind of like wacky theme. Uh-oh, what's this guy's name? This guy was in the movie. What's his name? Oh. Anyways. Yeah, that movie was like... I mean, for the simple fact that it had cool CG monsters and orcs fighting each other, that was cool, but it wasn't good. Especially in light of, like, we're living in a time now where the Amazon Rings of Power series is like, I happen to really like it. It makes that World of Warcraft movie look so silly. Anyways, that was the Hearthstone art book. Just a quick look. Really nice stuff. Really cool stuff. And you know, for a $5, I'll take that. I'll take that every day.